Good morning.
My coffee pot literally just beeped that it was done.
Wow, unbelievable. This is what professionalism looks like, folks. Can't even start the show. Well, while we wait for Tan to get some coffee, I guess y'all are stuck with just me. Oh. And Tan's beautiful background. You see a nice little monitor there, little printer, nice wooden chair, and nice little shopping bag. Oh, Lord. Well, we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about today. We have some wild stuff happening in Texas that is taking place in Tan's town. I know they want to talk about a lot. And hello.
Were you entertaining? Well, it was
I was
fun.
desperately trying to stall. You know that episode of BoJack Horseman where Diane's just like talking about random bullshit until Princess Carolyn walks in?
Yes.
It's basically doing that.
Very good.
I still haven't gone to the store to
morning.
get coffee beans, so I am just out to sea without a fucking life vest here.
Do you like buy the beans and then like roast and grind them, or what is your
I buy
how granular
roasted
do you
beans.
get with the process?
Yeah, I buy roasted beans and then grind them and then pour over them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a place about I don't know, maybe a block and a half, 2 blocks away from me, called Vigilante Coffee, and they're like at least like statewide like the best coffee roasters in the state, if not nationally known.
Wow.
Yeah, so they make really, really good coffee. So I just buy stuff from them, and so it's only takes me like walking for 10 minutes to go get more coffee. I just haven't.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. You were pretty busy yesterday.
Yes.
And what did you? I can't remember if we talked about this on the show or not. You're trying to decide what sort of politically charged film to feed your parents. What did you
feed my?
No. What did they? What did they end up
So
watching?
we ended up watching first Blade Runner, actually.
That's a long movie, depending on the cut too.
It's only like just under 2 hours.
I don't know why. So first of all, I haven't seen it in a long time, but
Yeah, it's the new one that's like almost 3 hours.
That's so weird. I remember the old one in my mind as being like
it's slow.
So long. It is
slow. It's because 50% of the movie is panning shots and close-ups of Deckard thinking while space jazz is playing. That's just 50% of the movie.
It's like, yeah, I don't.
Which is wonderful, but
it's very good. It's interesting because there are lots and lots of comparisons and conversations comparing both Blade Runners, which I enjoy in their own respects. But like the one comparison is that Ryan Gosling is attractive. He's not Harrison Ford in his prime. Like Harrison Ford is so hot in that movie. It's
yeah, and as much as the first Blade Runner is just close-ups of Harrison Ford thinking, Ryan Gosling only has one face. And it's just him looking vaguely confused for 3 hours. He's just
that
like
face is called "Damn, I Wish I Was Army Hammer."
It's just that. It's just that the whole movie. It's all it is.
Yeah, just kidding, Ryan Gosling. You're just as good as Army Hammer.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that debate for the 100th time.
So, what did your parents have seen Blade Runner before?
My dad hadn't, but my mom had. But like 40 years ago.
I'm sure they loved it. Like,
yeah, they liked it. They liked it. My parents aren't big into sci-fi, but I was like, this isn't a sci-fi movie. It's a noir movie that happens to be in like cyberpunk LA, but like this isn't a sci-fi movie. Also, all the tech is like 20 years old now, so
I kind of think like with cyberpunk, that's kind of the best way to do it. That's when you're doing really good cyberpunk, is when it doesn't feel like the genre is cyberpunk. It feels like it's something else, and the backdrop is cyberpunk. Like Ghost in the Shell is a procedural cop drama set to cyberpunk. Like you said, is a noir film. It's
yeah.
a detective film in a cyberpunk world.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I just like I if you want the like cyberpunk aspect to be the focal point, you have to put so much work into that, and I think it's just better for it to be just the setting and not like the focal point.
so what do you think CD Projekt Red's game is going to be good?
I mean, yeah, probably. Other than The Witcher 2, CD Projekt Red is like all of their games are like 10 out
Are
of
good,
10
yeah.
good. So yeah, I have no reason to believe that them spending like 7 years and constantly delaying the game to get it right is going to end up in a bad game. I'd be
hmm
shocked.
I would be shocked too.
Yeah.
I do. So it is based off of I'm sure you already know, the tabletop RPG Cyberpunk
Yes.
Red.
So I'm sure
Um,
you think it's going to be terrible because it's not going to be exactly like the tabletop RPG.
I don't like the tabletop
Oh,
RPG because it
really?
commits the ultimate cyberpunk sin,
Hmm?
which is that replacing your body with robotic parts are becoming like, replacing your organic self with a shell is part of like they villainize it, and they call it like it is something that people don't want to do, or is seen as making you less human, which is kind of inherently, do we already talk about this, like super transphobic.
Yeah, no, I see. I definitely see how that
It's also
comes
just
across. And
dumb and
that's
not
yeah, also
not
just kind of the
interesting.
point of like cyberpunk is like experimenting with like humans. Like not you know what I mean? Like experiment like what is humanity is
Oh yeah,
like all of
it's
cyberpunk. And if you're like anything but humanity bad, you kind of removed all of the nuance of cyberpunk.
the only way I could think of it, that they would do it right, is if the group doing that was like some far wing religious nuts or something like that.
Right, right. Not just like a
Because
random
then it
societal
becomes,
view of it being bad for no reason.
yeah, because that's disappointing. There are a couple other things about the game that have me like slightly worried, but otherwise, I agree with you. I think that they'll spend long enough on it to make it good.
Yeah, like there's just no way. It's technically possible, but I would just be shocked if they release like a shit game at this point. Like I
Mhm.
see The Witcher 2 as like a bit of a stumbling block of them transitioning from being like three guys that don't know how to make games to like making AAA level games.
Wasn't The Witcher 2 also it had a very fast turnaround? Like they made
Yeah,
that game
exactly.
pretty
Like
quick.
The Witcher 1 is like clearly and I don't. It's not that they didn't like work hard on it, but they were a much smaller, like first game kind of
hmm
studio. Whereas The Witcher 2, they were like, oh shit, we have a budget now, and so they tried to like revamp things, and I think that's on consoles as well. So they like were trying to make it playable on PC and consoles. So you ended up with a
It was
really
on console.
awkward. It wasn't.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're right.
So you end up with like a really awkward combat system, which is like their first attempt at a combat system that isn't clicking every occasionally.
It is, yeah. It was
Um,
bad combat, but even then, like the game is, for the time, it was very pretty.
oh yeah, the game is gorgeous. And it's not like
The
the writing
story
is
is very good.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like no, like you're playing a Witcher game. No one cares about the politics of the world. Like
yeah. I think the show does a better job of making you care about the politics of
yeah,
the world than
like
either of the games did for me.
especially after the first game, if you're going into it after enjoying the first game of like I'm just wandering around like killing
Just
some
romping
fucking
around slaying
yeah,
monsters,
just
collecting
doing
my
random
sex
shit
parts.
from that to like world politics. It's like, okay, this is a fucking genre switch up.
Yeah, and the second game does it so hard.
Yeah, well, that's like the main thing is just like choosing political allies between I forget the two people. Like at this, like towards the beginning.
The Scoia'tael and I forget what their names are. I think the Nilfgaardians.
Yes,
The French. And then like the fact that the game is trying to make me care that Foltest got killed, and I'm just like,
no,
I don't
no.
like. It was like, no, but he was Geralt's friend. It's like, yeah, but he did his sister, dude. Like, I don't know. Geralt needs. I was about to say Geralt needs better friends, but Geralt just hangs out with the worst sort of people.
Geralt already has exactly the two best friends in the entire world. Dandelion, for starters.
And what's the dwarf's name?
I forget. Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Yeah, Dandelion and Zoltan. Geralt doesn't need better friends than Dandelion and Zoltan.
The second season introduces the dynamics of Dandelion, Zoltan, and Geralt together, I will lose my mind. It'll be so good.
That was the best shit in the first Witcher game. Is when you're doing all this mundane shit and you finally get to town and the bros are just there and it's this just dumbass awful bard and this angry dwarf.
It's just like,
and somehow they're like your best friends. You like emotionless husk of an attractive man.
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
I do find another thing I think is interesting is that Geralt is like not really portrayed as being that attractive in the books, and then in the game it's like, oh, he's kind of hot.
Well, is Geralt portrayed as fucking every single woman that's ever existed in the books?
Yeah, but
yeah, you can kind of assume he's hot.
To be more. Well, it's more of the angle of like because he's a Witcher.
Yeah,
he's kind of seen as exotic.
Interesting. That's kind of a tonal shift from the games then too, because he's definitely viewed as a little more of an outsider than a prize in the games.
Only so a prize only by like very unique types of women.
Yeah, not like average.
Even in the games, the women he is James bonding with constantly tend to be like the monster girls.
Yeah.
Yennefer.
Yeah, no, The Witcher is like mid-fantasy James Bond with social commentary attached to it.
Except for James Bond is likable. Yeah, it's so sometimes it is just really, really the second game also of all of them for having the best writing kind of had the worst writing in some parts. Like
Yes.
there's a part where you just like save an elf. And then later she's like, thanks for saving me. Do you want to have a three-way with my friend? And the girl's like, sure. It's like
love it. It's so dumb. The best part was the first game. It's just every single redhead. If you saw a girl with red hair, it was like there is a way somehow.
Which became abundantly clear as they continued to write Triss as their favorite.
But they didn't.
They
didn't though.
It's an interesting.
If you think Triss is their favorite, that means they wrote her too well enough that you got fucking manipulated into thinking Triss was best girl.
I would love to have my friend Caroline on to talk about this with you.
Hell yeah.
And I would just sit back and listen and learn.
Yeah, I think Triss is an incredibly well-written character because people actually think she is good for Geralt and whatnot. Just because they have a funnier and like less toxic like personal dynamic. That's it.
Everyone has a less toxic personal dynamic than Geralt and Yennefer.
But I mean that tracks. Which
is why I like Geralt and Yennefer together, because I don't know.
Like even I imagine more people have seen like the show. Their dynamic is not healthy.
No,
at
no.
all. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, cool. Blade Runner is a good movie. I actually
so
would like
good.
to watch it
Oh, yeah,
again.
we need the both of us. We need to watch Blade Runner and then 2049 and have a heated debate.
I mean, I know it's not as good as the OG Blade Runner.
I know. I just don't think it's good. Period. Like I don't. I'm not concerned with. I don't think it's as good. I don't think it is good.
That's wow. That's a take.
That is a take
I
right
mean,
there.
like, it does commit some sci-fi sins, like having Jared Leto in it.
That's just a movie sin, not a sci-fi sin.
I don't know when everyone decided like he had a face for sci-fi. I remember when the Dune casting was coming out, and I was like, please, please, please don't
No,
have
Jared
Jared
Leto.
in it.
Okay, what has Jared Leto been in? And I don't want to say that is good, but I think I've literally only seen Jared Leto in like the most minor of roles. Like people like shit on him for like his role in Blade Runner or like as Joker in Suicide Squad, but his role was so fucking small. Like he has so little screen time and is really, really unimportant. Like in
He
Blade
was in
Runner,
that
he's
movie with Matthew McConaughey. I can't remember, and he was good in that, as I
okay.
recall.
Because I just can't think of anything I've seen him in that he isn't some like pointless side character with like half a page of lines.
I'll think of something. I'm sure,
Okay.
because there is that Matthew McConaughey film that I can't recall the name of. Is it Dallas Buyers
Let's
Club?
see. Okay, no, so he's in Requiem for a Dream, Fight Club, American
Yeah.
Psycho. Um, yeah, it's like the one that's like the list of seen other than.
hmm hmm Yeah.
But
He's
there's
got
like
his
a
he's
20
got his
year gap
crafty little
between.
band. Have you ever listened to his band?
I have not.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Don't
You
think
should
so.
listen to it.
Is
You
it?
should listen
Am
to
I
it,
gonna
and
have
we
a
should
bad
review
time?
it.
Am I
Are
gonna
you
have a
gonna have a
bad
bad
time?
time? You are gonna have. It is it is music. It is music that fits in a genre. It is alternative rock.
Okay.
Uh, it's very like it tries to do the thing of being very grandiose and using choirs and kind of epic rock, especially alt rock, to kind of interweave and build ballads. But the issue I personally have with it is that all of the music is kind of written around him chanting "oh oh oh" a bunch, which is
The
like,
classic.
yeah, it's not my
Doesn't
thing.
doesn't he have like a little cult or something in real life?
No,
Pretty
I
sure
was,
pretty sure
if you
Jared
are
Leto has some weird ass little cult shit going on.
if you are in Jared Leto's cult and somehow listening, we would love to talk to you.
I don't think that's how
Jared
that
Leto just
works.
pops into our Discord video
You
call in
just
full white robes and annihilates you with his laser
you
beam
just see
eyes
Jared Leto's face just pop up like right there in the window.
in the window. He just like snaps and you turn into dust. Don't say anything about 30 Seconds to Mars. Damn.
Yeah, Jared Leto has started a cult on an island.
I mean, I don't know. Is he taking care of me? What happens? Like,
I mean, he's like 100% banging you because it looks like it's just all women. Because
that
of
tracks.
course it is. Yeah, it's oh my god. I can't send this to you because I can't close the Discord video, but just like Google Images Jared Leto cult, and it's just him in like a white robe being followed by a horde of women all dressed in white.
All right. All right, Jared.
And he's got like big ass sunglasses on.
He's also like for me, like one of those actors and dudes that almost presents as being ace or gay or bisexual, even though
I guess
hold on,
not.
never.
Not anymore.
People all also ask, does Jared Leto own an island? Who is Jared Leto married to? Is Jared Leto Jesus?
Okay. Maybe that's why he has a cult. It's actually Jesus. He does kind of have the
Oh,
Jesus look.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like him. I
I
dislike him.
think we've established this. I think we may.
Um, yeah, okay, so yeah, he's the more boring parts of the second Blade Runner film. And I was joking earlier about Ryan Gosling. I think Ryan Gosling is great in that film. He's fine. He's
Yeah,
like,
I think all the actors other than Jared Leto do like a fine job.
uh huh,
And at
uh huh.
least I do the one thing I will there's like very few things I will give the movie props for, and one of them is the fact that Jared Leto's character just didn't fucking matter. They literally just like kidnaps Harrison Ford and then fucks off and never gets seen again.
Yeah, he's deeply. I mean, they try and do that scene where they set him up as being very unnerving, but it just comes across as like, oh,
Unhinged.
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't do much for me. Um,
The real thing that I think the second Blade Runner loses, not only in just the sets, is the light design,
oh my god, yeah, it is very moody, and it does
but it
do something.
is nothing compared to the light design of the first Blade Runner.
It's almost like there is something with Ridley Scott films where Ridley Scott and whoever works on set design gets it so right the first time that it can never be replicated. How wild is it that Alien came out, and I don't know when Alien came out, but there has not
79,
79. That
I
yes.
think.
Okay. There has not been a single movie in the franchise that captures the claustrophobic ship design and like the just how good the ships look.
Yeah,
Um and it doesn't capture the spirit of the first movie. The closest there is to anything, yikes, I'm going to say something. The closest there is to any sort of capturing of the aesthetic of the first film, at the very least, in tone alone, was Prometheus, and that movie is not a good movie.
yeah. You could have just said it's a recent Ridley Scott film.
You actually might like Prometheus.
Whoa!
Well, I know. I mean,
Out here
I
saying
like.
it's not a good movie, you'd probably like it.
There are lots of movies that are not good movies that I like a lot.
That's fair. I mean, same.
Uh, yeah, Prometheus is very cool because it is very eldritch horror in
Right.
the scope of it is like humans learning about how they don't exist because of they go to this planet to discover where humanity began, and it's very horrific and hopeless, and they're very small, which I like think is such a like there are certain boxes you have to check when trying to capture eldritch horror, and it's not even like for me tentacles. It's more like the it's more about the scope and feeling of something than
Right.
anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and I think in that instance, Prometheus is a very good movie. Um, in every other instance, it is in fact a bad movie. But I mean, it has Idris Elba and
Okay.
uh, Charlize
Have you
Theron and Michael Fassbender, but
have
it
you
was
seen this new Ridley Scott show that's on HBO that a lot of people are talking about and saying is good?
I have not Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like an Android
Yeah,
film.
rumor has it it's good.
I do wonder how much Ridley Scott has to do with stuff released under the umbrella of his name these days.
You're just like, oh, it's good. Well, must mean he isn't involved.
I just don't. I don't
There,
know.
by
I don't
name
know how
alone.
he is.
Um,
But that's the thing.
probably
is it
like
more
60s or 70s. But I
no, so
mean,
I mean, it
Martin
could very
Scorsese's still out here fucking making bangers.
yeah, it could very easily be
Yeah, he's 82.
him or I guess I was just curious about that.
How old is Martin Scorsese? I mean, he was like, he did what, The Irishman most recently, and he did like The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, he's like 87, but not like some of his best movies of his career in his old age.
Yeah, yeah. I heard The Irishman was okay.
Yeah,
What
I haven't gotten the chance to watch it. I haven't been in the mood for like 3 hours of mobsters talking yet.
No, I also heard from someone, this is incredibly out of context, that the movie has a very powerful anti-union message.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I would be
Only one way to find
interested.
out.
This movie was funded and paid for by Target.
Amazon.
Robert De Niro will kneecap you
You just
if you
see
even talk about unionizing.
you just see Jeff Bezos' face in random windows watching in the background throughout the movie.
Oh, disgusting. Yikes. Big time yikes. Um,
So I think you have something important to talk about today.
yeah, it's my hometown, Denton. There, oh god, I don't know. I don't think we can link the video, but you can look it up. Some dude just decked a peaceful protester at a Bucky's. Now, if you don't know what a Bucky's is, it's like a big gas station that sells food that is very famous for being Texan, and they're
Or
known for having the
like a Sheets or a Wawa situation, pretty much. Just
yeah
the
yeah yeah
Texas
yeah.
version.
I would say yeah, they're very big, and in many ways they're known for like we have good food, we have the cleanest bathrooms in Texas, blah 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 blah. But apparently there was like uh, a, a MAGA rally happening outside of one, which first of all makes no sense because it's like
I don't know, that tracks. That seems like something
I
that
don't
would
know. I've
happen.
I've been messaging at Bucky's constantly asking them to send me a copy of their corporate policy on violent protests and white supremacist protests in their parking lot. Anyways, someone started a counter protest. A couple guys, uh, as I recall, and they were playing some anti-Trump song from their car. And so one of the dudes comes over and tells them to turn it off. And they're like, yeah, we can listen. If you have a right to your thing, we have a right to our thing in the Bucky's parking lot. So the MAGA guy just sucker punches this dude. Just sucker
Jesus.
punches this dude, looks around, and then like runs away like a little coward, gets in his car and drives away. Like, here's my thing about all of it. First of all, like I have lots of things. Like it's disgusting. But the real icing on the cake is like he punches this dude and then runs away. Like it is just the most. If you can watch the video, it is one of the more cowardly confrontations I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
seen it. It's wild.
he's such a
He's just like
yeah.
big mad and then just like bam and then in his car. It's like, all right, bye, I'm out of here.
If you just want to see the smallest dick energy you've ever seen in your life, watch this little shit get in his Dodge Ram and drive away with his buddy. Anyways, so it's on video. The guy responded to the tweet and was like, "Hey, it's me. I'm the one that got punched in the face. I'm okay." And then a bunch of lawyers were like, "Yo, we'll help you out pro bono." Of course, like
Yeah.
And then Denton PD, which is typically known for buying racist people barbecue, uh, decided to actually like follow up. And I was also tweeting at them, and we'll be calling them later. I think they picked the guy up, and he's not
Nice.
actually from Denton. He was removed from his job 4 days prior due to a political outburst.
That tracks.
It's like a political outburst is the equivalent of a heated gamer moment for white supremacists.
Both involve just calling someone the N-word.
Honestly, yeah, there is a very thin line between the two things. There's a very thin line between this dude and Ninja. Like, there's a moment away. I
Oh,
don't know why
Jesus.
I assume all streamers are problematic except for Markiplier, and I don't even watch Markiplier. He just has a face I trust. I don't know why. It's because he doesn't look like a Hitler Youth kid. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ.
Are we I'm sorry.
Gotta delete this VOD later if we ever want to
Oh,
work
dude.
with anyone on this website.
Oh, I don't want to work with anyone on this website. No, I like Ninja and PewDiePie, and I don't know, and everyone that in that circle of too big to say anything productive can, I don't know, get bent. Like the idea that I think one of the wackiest tweets I ever saw was this tweet from Ninja that was like, you should get mad at video games or whatever. I don't remember the exact wording. He's like, you should rage because like that shows that you care. And it was like, dude, shut up. Like,
Stop encouraging my roommate.
go get in your private jet jacuzzi. Take a bubble bath in space. Like, leave us alone. It wasn't just that it was like inherently kind of toxic. It was like very cringy. It was like,
Yeah, well,
it's
I
like, dude,
mean, he's
first of all,
he's appealing to his audience of like actual 8-year-olds.
you're not an esports player. Like if I saw like some kid snap at a StarCraft champion and just break his keyboard and start crying and crawl under the desk, like that's fair because you've been in StarCraft Academy for like 7 years. Like this kid genuinely has been like on the edge busting his ass. Not and I'm not saying streaming is easy because streaming is very hard. Doing it full time, I get that. And being public facing like that, I'm sure it's difficult, but like your career isn't challenged if you lose a game of Fortnite. Like it's not.
I'm gonna just clip this and tweet it at Ninja.
You're not like what's her face, my favorite StarCraft streamer of all time, Scarlet. Where like
Hell
that
yeah.
game is she still performing or doing anything?
Yeah, I think
would love
she's
to.
been playing the StarCraft 1 remaster a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention to StarCraft because that's still kind of barely hanging on outside of anywhere but South Korea.
Seeing her just destroy every dude one after another and just like Zerg bomb the entire game.
Yeah, she's funny because she's like one of the most inconsistent players of all time, but her two levels of consistency are best player in the world and bad. Like when she's on, you like some of the best Zerg games of all time that you can like point someone to watch. It's like, yeah, they're all fucking Scarlet games. And also she'll just like lose for no reason the other half the time.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching her.
Like there's this one like 50-minute game between her and a Terran player where neither of them have bases anymore and they're basically just operating on what's left of like the stragglers of their armies and she wins the game by like a buried Baneling that's been there for like half the fucking game. And as he walks down the ramp, she pops up the Zergling and just blows up all of his Marines, and then he surrenders. It's the craziest shit.
Yeah, I the most fun I ever had watching StarCraft was watching her play.
Not watching me roll up to your base with.
The moment I figured out that tanks couldn't stop you anymore, the game was no longer fun for me because that was the only advantage I had. It's just stressful. Like StarCraft 2 is it's too much for me.
Too fast.
I don't have it is too fast.
It's a lot going on.
TSs that were like Age of Empires, which are kind of slow compared.
Oh yeah, no, StarCraft is wild.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't remember how we started talking about StarCraft.
Who can say?
Yeah, you should watch Samurai Champloo today. At least
Yes.
the episodes are only like 20 minutes long.
Yes, that is in the plan for today. I got home last night and it was just like face plant in bed.
You and your parents go hard when you hang out.
Apparently, man.
Yeah.
I was there for like 9 hours or something.
So my idea with guests and what I want to do is, because you and me can ramble on about stuff that
Random
doesn't
bullshit
matter
indefinitely.
could just immediately be filed away into the infinite substrate of data and time, and no one would ever look at it again.
We'll talk about Batman versus Superman again.
Which is fine and reasonable and where it belongs, lost in the cloud. But I would like a guest to come in and like talk about stuff that they know
Yeah.
that I don't know anything about.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to like
put them on the spotlight for an hour while we sit here and going.
Yes. Like I don't really care what it is. I just want to feel like I'm learning something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You and me have learned everything we can learn from each other. We've gotten all we can get out of this friendship intellectually.
Feels bad, man.
All we can provide now are the creature comforts of humanity to each other, but we need some
new knowledge.
We need some new knowledge. Yeah, okay, so I think I would love to ask Caroline if she'll come on and talk about God, what's the Witcher 2 character? Triss with you. That would be fun to watch.
She's in all of the Witcher games, for the record.
Yeah. Sure. A friend of a friend, Rachel's gonna come on and talk about books.
Okay.
And then see if your dad will come on and talk about whatever your dad does. What is your dad's like area of his field of expertise?
So he does like program management and like proposal writing and business development stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can have your dad on and ask how to grow my small business. Quite genuinely, just for an hour.
Probably knows how to do stuff like that.
Take notes on like William Gallagher. Can you tell me why I'm not making any money? Dogs your dad again.
I'm sure he'll he does consulting, so you know, just
I can't wait for him to get off the stream and send me a $7,000 bill. I just go outside and lay down in the road.
Pretty much.
A $7,000 bill would actually end my entire life.
Who wouldn't?
I want to know what's the smallest amount of money you could be charged that would just you would be on the streets like
$10. That's it, man. We're just teetering on the brink of destruction.
My God. This is the part where the little
One extra
Ko-Fi
trip to
button pops
McDonald's.
up. By Ryan and Tanner, 15 more minutes of life. Pay my cell phone bill. Yeah, okay, that would be cool. I don't know who else. Anyone. I really don't care. I
We could
don't
probably
care
get
what they
Dom
do.
on a weekend. He was like,
Oh,
I'm working, and I was like, yeah, not on fucking Saturday and Sunday, you dummy.
I did talk with Dom. I would like to have him on the weekend. He told me about, and he'll probably talk about it more, one of the more interesting things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Because what is his position in government again?
Um, he's just like part of the like party leadership in Indiana.
Right. So apparently, a sign, for instance, a Kamala Biden, like a
Yeah,
Harris sign, is more financially important than a 30-second radio ad spot. It
interesting.
costs more to get the sign than the ad spot.
What?
Yeah, I would love to hear him talk about that and why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, neither. I think it's very interesting. It might have to just do with the sort of political economy of that sort of stuff. Like literally, Dom was talking about how they can't get enough signs, or and all of this is me interpreting what he wrote in some Twitter DMs. I'm sure he could explain it much better, and I'm pretty off, but
Thing.
it was interesting
Huh.
stuff.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to have him on. One day I'll fly to Connecticut and just set up a microphone next to Michael. Just like, hey, good morning. It's
Yeah,
time. We're doing this.
what would Lentini teach us about?
um, I don't know, Twitch culture.
Yeah, probably that would be good
He's
to
our
know.
resident expert. Just
Whatever you do,
consuming content.
don't you dare say anything bad about Ninja.
Probably anime. You want to talk about anime? Michael just
Yeah, I can do that on
Harvard
my
lecture
own.
of anime. I don't.
Michael, you know what? To be fair, like the circles of media that we consume in anime are entirely different. So he could introduce me to.
See, Michael's probably watched like every anime you've ever watched and like 10,000 more.
I believe that.
It's just what he does.
Okay, here's something. Do you know the Capcom game Dragon's Dogma?
Yeah. Isn't
Dragon's
it
Dogma is a good game.
trash? Okay.
So okay, actually, it's a it's very, 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 very good. It has one of the most satisfying combats in a open world fantasy game ever. The crafting system is sick. Character customization is awesome. The armor system is better than anything I've ever seen. Like you can layer armors to make whatever you want.
Okay.
You can level a single what you can just level the rusty sword you get from the beginning to infinity. Like it does the Dark Souls thing that I appreciate of you can kind of use every weapon if you adapt to it.
Right, right.
Party system is cool. It does have parts of the game that suck so much.
I definitely
Essentially
heard
it
about those.
yeah. Some of the scaling on the textures are not great. The storyline is garbage from the trash can.
Isn't the dialogue just awful and obnoxious?
The dialogue is awful and obnoxious. It's all about the gameplay. It's all about the open world. The cities are very cool.
Okay.
No character in the game is interesting at all. Anyways, but it is kind of a weirdly kind of wholesome game about monster slaying, and it does cool stuff like Shadow of the Colossus style. You can climb on the enemies, and
Hmm.
like you can fight dragons, and you'll climb on them and go airborne,
Interesting.
which is so phenomenally cool. You get to do things that you've never really done in other games. Like I had one playthrough. I was atop a Cyclops, and I just like gutted it in the eye and won the fight, and then jumped from that one onto another one and like nabbed onto his arm and just got swung around, and it cool stuff.
Huh.
Um, anyways, they made it into an anime on Netflix. I believe it is the same art studio that did the
Really?
2016, 2018 Berserk, 2018 Berserk.
Hmm.
It is so bad. It is not just bad for an adaptation of Dragon's Dogma, which, first of all, why does that game get an anime adaptation? It is worse than most like bad budget animes. It is worse than like a Crunchyroll original. Like it
Ooh.
is bad. It is unwatchable. Also, it is aggressively horny for no reason.
That tracks.
For no reason, not even in a way that, because the games are like the most unsexual games ever.
They had to try to sell the anime somehow.
Yeah, and there are things, I won't go into it, but there are sexual things in there that are unforgivable for me and incredibly uncomfortable. You can
Boy.
look it up on your own later, but
I don't think I will.
don't. Yeah,
I think I'm
just
okay with never experiencing anything to do with this.
Dragon's Dogma might be a little bit dated now. If you had experienced it in its prime, it might have been better, but it is still a game that I think is worth playing.
Okay.
If
I
we
mean,
could find a way to get the MMO working, they released an MMO where you
yeah.
could play it online in Japan, I think, but it never translated
Yeah.
to
There's a lot of
here.
those.
It's a shame because it's what everyone wanted. The original game was clearly supposed to be a co-op game to the point where you could technically co-op, but it's a weird system of you create these things called pawns, which are essentially characters that do everything you tell them to, and they don't have souls, and it's very uncomfortable. And you trade them with other players. Like your pawn will go help someone else, and then you can take their pawn.
Okay.
It's not. It's another part of the game that's not good narratively. They're slapping a sticker on for why you have an AI party. And it couldn't just be like, you can hire mercenaries. It's like, no, you
No,
can
it's got to be weirder than that. Empty vessels.
empty vessels from me. And okay, the anime also does something very uncomfortable where it introduces a romance plot line between, because there's the character, the Arisen,
Mhm.
who's the chosen one. And then
Right.
they summon in their pawns, which are just basically like empty vessel humans that live to be exploited and told what to do by the Arisen. And there is a romance plot between him and his pawn, which, for so many reasons,
Oh.
for so many reasons, that's bad.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, it's not like a Master Chief and Cortana situation. Imagine if Cortana was actually just a program. Like,
Yeah, well, Halo would still be bad.
yeah, Halo would still be bad. In Dragon's Dogma, you can also pick up your pawns and throw them over cliffs, and they'll come back up and be like,
Hey,
"Thank
stop.
you." No, they don't say. They don't. They never tell you to stop. It is kind of fun because the game has a mechanic where you can just pick people up, even enemies. So you'll be fighting a goblin, you just walk to him and throw him over your shoulder, and he's like flailing, just walking around with them.
That's incredible.
And you can just walk to the edge of cliffs and throw them over. Good game.
Sounds like something else, that's for sure.
Oh, what time is it?
Ooh, 10:07. Still
We
feels
about
like
did the
it's
thing.
6 a.m.
Indeed, indeed, it does. Oof, whack.
I need to actually go to the store today, like a smart person.
And actually get your coffee.
Yeah, and just food in general. Good. literally just like I was dumb and had my alarm set for time, and I like uh, got up, went to the bathroom. And wait a second.
My God. I thought I was just gonna sleep through this morning. I'm surprised I wasn't more late than I was.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I was ready for you to just like roll over, look at your phone, and be like, "Nah, that's not happening."
Nah, dude, I'm 5 days in. I'm not done.
Hell yeah,
People gotta watch the VODs.
we're doing it.
Oh my God. I did like look a little bit at the VODs, and it seems like no one else is awake at the time that we do this, but then all of your viewers wake up later.
You're just like, "Oh, what did I miss?" Yeah, that
An
seems kind of
hour
exactly
of
what
nothing.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it works.
whack.
I'm gonna try to upload stuff to YouTube today and make overlays.
Oh,
All that fun stuff that I've been meaning to do but haven't.
yeah.
Gonna like have guests. We have to like
Yeah,
gotta
reasonable.
step up my game,
Yeah. I
amp up
need
the
to make.
production value.
I think Tuesday I'll end up making more background music that we can actually play during stream.
Infinite loops.
I'll make like 2 or 3 tracks about 2 minutes long. We can just fade into each other.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Some little lo-fi beats.
Something that'll just absolutely clash with the opening and closing song, preferably.
I could eventually rewrite those.
They're beautiful. What do you mean?
Oh God. Yikes. There's something. Dang.
Oh man.
What do you got going on today otherwise then?
Pretty much just relaxing. Nothing too exciting other than working on overlays and stuff. I don't know. I might try to.
Play
Yeah.
Age of Empires later with me and Mike.
No.
Okay. All right.
Also, that's the game's still like $20 on Steam. And I'm not spending $20 on Age of Empires.
I can show off my project.
It's like spending $40 or $50 on old Call of Duties because Activision that kind of greed. Is this a volcano for one of your science fair projects?
It's for my school project. The teacher said we can't do volcanoes, but whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be a tower when I'm done. Kind of got it. This is gonna be some of the landscape. I need to carve it out more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's sweet. What are you gonna use it for?
I don't know. Just like I guess I'll probably just give it away as like a D&D prop on Etsy and see if someone wants to buy it for like $20.
Hell yeah.
I kind of want to just start selling D&D props, but like I kind of do them for fun, so I would sell them for really cheap, just or give them away because I don't have room for them. And I play tabletop RPGs over the internet, so
You don't really need the props.
no, imagine if like we played and I just like did
You
everything
just
from,
pulled
like,
out. You just like pulled out one of those. We're like, here's where we are.
Critical Role does that, and it is they have like a camera that is above their table that looks down at their minis, and it's just for me it's like just do a digital token, just do
Yeah.
like a digital map that you can broadcast straight to everyone. It looks better, have someone manage it.
I do
I
just
don't
want to see you like walking into frame with like a box that's as heavy as you are, just like teetering in with all the props for the session.
I'm gonna set up my hobgoblins. Yeah, just like this little intricately like showing all my players on camera what's going on.
You get like a Warhammer table. Shaky camming around.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of guests, we have to have Mike on to talk about Warhammer because that'll be fun.
Obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Oh man. All right, I will get a nice 3-person overlay done today.
Hmm.
The real question
Hmm.
is how am I going to do the guest window? Because this is
I don't
set
know.
up nicely to like with the arrows and stuff. It'd be kind
Uh,
of I don't know. What I'm saying is I have to change the whole format basically to some extent.
like, let me know if I can help. Well,
We'll do.
I
We'll do. I think
yeah.
I'll be good.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Cool. This is nice because it's the only show I'm on where I don't have to do anything for the graphic design. And I appreciate that.
I'm a professional, as you can clearly see by
You are.
this. What
All
more
of
could
this,
you
yeah.
ask for? Yeah.
I say that as though I'm good at design, and I'm not. Like, I'm just, of all the people on the shows that I happen to be on, I'm the only one with the software.
The only one that knows how to just create a PNG and put colors on it.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly annoying to learn how to do at first.
What do you use?
Photoshop.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Just like
So you're
all the
really
random
doing
hidden
it.
keybinds and shit.
Yeah, you're really doing it. Hey,
Oh
that'll
yeah.
look good on your resume.
Yeah, exactly. One day I'll like have skills that I can market just by using these things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
here,
I
hire me.
it is like it is wild what it honestly, if I could like give anyone any advice about like their resume that I've learned in the last year is like learn what SEO means. Learn how to do it. At least a little bit. Learn Photoshop at least a little bit. Not even if Photoshop, just something that you can use to just design some PNGs and JPEG. Like if you had to learn GIMP, do it. Uh,
Just make memes, in short.
yeah, yeah. I mean, between those two things, and then there was a third software that I entirely forgot that I learned that was that has been good. I say
Oh yeah,
cool. Maybe we'll have someone on that can talk about building resumes.
dude, that's oh, I mean that's my dad. You want to have my dad on?
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
No,
easy.
I'll ask him about that.
DM him on Twitter.
Does your dad have a Twitter?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
You can message him on Facebook.
No, thanks. I don't even know if I have an active Facebook anymore.
You have Messenger, so
Mm,
that works.
yeah. Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah, that
I
sounds like a plan to me.
you want to plug your stuff first this time?
Um, I guess yeah. Follow me. There. Um, follow if you're enjoying. Subscribe if you want to give me money. Use your Twitch Prime if you don't want to spend money to give me money. Uh,
Incredible.
yeah, that's about it. We're here every morning. On weekdays at 7 a.m. Central and on weekends before noon.
It's true. Weekends before noon, and then every Monday through Friday, 7 Central, and
Right.
then maybe some evenings in the near future.
Ooh. I mean, I'm gonna probably try to stream some games in the evening again. It's been a hot minute.
I would like to come watch that. I
Get
would like
back
to
into
protest
Valorant.
games with you.
Gotta get back into Valorant with the boys.
You got to play through Final Fantasy VI with me. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
Be cool. Cool.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
your
my,
turn.
my my links are in here as well, and you can follow me if you want. I guess keep an eye on whatever happens in Denton. If it doesn't sort itself out, we will call Denton PD on stream over and over and over. So
Yeah, Tan will just be streaming themselves hunting down this dude in the street. Personally.
I do have his name and I know where he works, but that is
Not anymore,
actually
he doesn't.
that is actually doxing, so we can't do that.
Yeah, in a video game.
In a video, this is where he lives, and this is where he goes to bed in a video game.
Oh
Just
Jesus.
kidding. In Minecraft. Other than that, I have the Scenecast, which is a tabletop RPG podcast coming out with you.
Ah,
I manage a Twitch stream called Rollcast Twitch. You should be able to find it by searching Rollcast Twitch on Twitch. And we have a show on there called Gates of Destiny, which is, I've been told, pretty good. I produce it, and then I've never watched it. And then a Burn Bright stream coming up soon that I'm super excited about. So go 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 wait for those things.
oh yeah. Follow them on Twitter.
Cool. I am
Use
gonna
your Twitch Prime.
I am gonna go to the bathroom. So goodbye.
All right. I will play us out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.